Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher. And man, I really appreciate you guys checking today's video out and spending some time with me, because today we're going to be talking about how to put action on a jerkbait, how to work a jerkbait, how to manipulate a jerkbait. And I think a lot of people, I sort of take it for granted because I do a lot of jerkbait stuff on the channel that people know how to do that, but I think a lot of people don't. Jerkbait fishing can be one of the most difficult techniques to master because it's a lure that you don't just reel in, that it has its own built-in action. Actually have to manipulate the lure and generate the action yourself. So I've got some good tips I'm going to pass along in today's video that's going to definitely help you over the next couple months there. Also, guys, speaking of jerkbaits, I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description to the megabass jerkbait site. These are all the jerkbaits I use. They got a wide selection of different models. This is the Vision 110 right here. But if you guys are interested in getting a few jerkbaits, you can use that link in the description. Really appreciate that. Okay, now, action that you put on a jerkbait, a lot of it is dependent upon the time of the year and the mood and the aggressiveness of the fish. In general, the colder the water, the slower you're working a jerkbait, and the warmer the water, the faster. And along with that, the more off-colored water that you have, the slower you work a jerkbait, and the faster you work it if it's cleaner water. But I just sort of want to tell you guys or show you a couple different ways that I work a jerkbait and how I put action on it. So first of all, what you want to do is, you make your cast out there, and I always jerk it down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like 7 or 8 times. I'll just jerk it pretty sharp like that. And by jerking it sharp like that, it gets that bait down deep quick, because you want to get that bait down deep. You're going to get most of your bites as that jerkbait is a little bit deeper. And I do use a spinning rod all the time. We've talked about that, guys. Usually spinning rod, 6 to 8 pound test line. So once I get it down there, okay, I've jerked it down and the bait is down there. Now, once I feel that it's down at its deepest part, I let it set a second, and then I just start shaking my tip like that. I don't jerk it hard. I just start shaking it a little bit like that, and then I'll let it stop, and then I'll pop it, like pop, pop, just like that. That's how I work the bait in the wintertime a lot of times, because what happens is that jerkbait, let me sort of get one out here and I'll show you. That jerkbait, once you get it down to that deepest spot, you want to keep it down there as long as you can. So I jerk it down, jerk, 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 down at the deepest part. I let it pause a little bit, and then I just sort of twitch it a little bit, just like that. And then I snap it 2 or 3 times, and it goes juke, juke, just like that. And that combination of the pause, a little bit slow moving, fast moving like that, a lot of times that'll trigger a strike with it. Now that's how I work it in the winter time. And I'll vary a little bit. Sometimes I'll throw it out there and I'll twitch it a little bit faster, say if the water's a little bit warmer. But most of the time I want to try to keep it in the deepest water that I can possibly get that jerkbait in for the longest amount of time without keeping it perfectly still. One thing about working a jerkbait is you hear people talking about you have to let the jerkbait sit and don't move it. It's true to some extent, but in my own personal fishing, I have found that I don't like to stop it very long. I like to keep it moving, but I keep it moving slow like that. I just don't keep it moving stationary. I'm barely moving it, and I get a lot more bites in the wintertime like that. Now, as the water temperature warms up, and say that water temperature warms up above 60 degrees, that's when I speed up my retrieve. So at that point, I'm not doing the twitching like that. I'm throwing it out there, and instead of jerking it down far, because in the wintertime, I'm jerking it down to get that bait down. As that water warms up, I'm jerking it more side to side because I don't want that bait to go as deep. So if that water's over 60, I'll make the cast out there. I'll jerk it side to side the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let it pause a little bit, and then that's when I do the traditional jerk, jerk, pause. Like boom, 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 pause. Boom, 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 pause. Boom, 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 pause. But the pause it's less than a second. So that's pretty much the 2 key jerkbait retrieves is the jerk, jerk, pause, and the intensity and how hard you snap that jerkbait. Again, it's dependent upon water temperature, mood and personality of the fish, water clarity, and then again, fishing it slow. In the wintertime, like I said, guys, here's the biggest piece of advice I'll give you if the water temperature is under 60 degrees for jerkbait fishing. Get your jerkbait deep and try to keep it as deep as possible, as long as possible, and always keep it moving just a little bit. And another thing that will help you out on that is by making a longer cast, because the longer the cast that you make, the longer you're going to have that bait deeper. So that's another reason I use light line and a spinning rod, is I can make longer casts and I can keep that bait deeper in the strike zone longer. So anyway, guys, just a few tips. I've got a lot of jerkbait videos in my playlist, on not only on the Fishing Teacher here, but on the my Intuitive Angling channel. So if you guys want to refer back to some of those playlists, bunch of good juice on jerkbait fishing. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.